Hello, I'm Kaycee Jones, SDSU Extension 4-H Advisor, serving Haakon and Jackson counties in South Dakota. As we're experiencing unprecedented and very challenging times, it is important to know how to communicate with the young people and children in our lives. But how? Before you even begin the conversation, it is important to do a self-assessment. If you're having a rough day or realize this conversation might trigger in you emotions that you can't control, it's okay to either wait for another day or find another trusted adult that could have this conversation with the young person. Now for the self-assessment. How do you do it? It's pretty simple. Ask yourself some basic questions like, how am I feeling? Am I worried or anxious? And also, am I the best or the right person to talk to this teen or youth? Now that you've done your self-assessment, it's time for the conversation. What's the best way to begin? The conversation with each child will be different and each conversation will be unique. But begin by asking open-ended questions like, how are you feeling? Tell me more about what you've heard. What are you hearing? And then be prepared to listen. Oftentimes, listening is the hardest part. I know for me, sometimes I want to fix the problem that they presented to me rather than just listen. However, sometimes they just need to share their emotions and be validated with the way they're feeling. As you listen, you might have to assist the young person in naming their emotions. For example, a young person might say, I'm sick of having nothing to do. You could say, I hear that you're feeling bored. Another example is, I miss my friends, having things to do. You could say, I hear you're sad about not getting to see your friends and that so many of your activities are canceled. This allows them to be active participants in helping naming their emotions, as well as giving them better tools to self-reflect. Remember that you do not have to agree with their emotions, but be kind and validate their feelings. By acknowledging their feelings, it helps build trust and encourages them to speak to you again. Using I statements like I hear you say or I have noticed are easy ways to keep the conversation going, especially if the young person doesn't have the words to describe how they are feeling. Remember, as you have this conversation, allow the young person to be the primary lead. You can do this by, again, asking questions and answering the questions that they present with factual, honest, and age-appropriate responses. Knowing what to say is very dependent on the age and maturity of the young person that you're having the conversation with. For example, in the current COVID pandemic, a preschooler might need to know that germs are very small things that can make you sick, and that washing your hands effectively could keep you healthy. Whereas a teenager might need more detailed and specific response. Finally, model the behavior that you want the young person to experience. In this time of quarantine and social distancing, it is important for everyone's mental health to have good self-care practices. For example, exercise, get outside, have proper nutrition and sleep patterns, invest time and energy into hobbies and passions, as well as make sure that you're having connection with friends, family, and those you care about. You can be a positive role model for the young person in your life by doing some of these things together. In addition to self-care, modeling proper hygiene and good hand washing can be especially important for those younger children. An idea that a fellow 4-H advisor shared with me was to create a special event or activity to help teens and children feel connected. I have also seen several friends and people I follow on social media doing something similar. It could be something simple, like a family movie night in a unique location, like outside or in a she shed, or possibly having a family vacation, camping trip to your backyard, or right in your own living room. The main goal is creating a special and unique activity for the young person while in a safe environment. As we all try to navigate through stressful situations, it's always a good idea to have a plan, especially when talking to teens and children. Remember to take an inventory of your own emotions, ask open-ended questions, validate their emotions, and be a positive role model by modeling the behaviors you would like to see. I realize this is a challenge, but ultimately it is worthwhile for both you and the children in your life. If you need more specific information or have questions, please feel free to reach out to me at kaycee.jones@sdstate.edu or visit us at our extension website at extension.sdstate.edu.